Hey, y'all, what's going on? My name is Koi, the creative doula, and you have tapped into my soul called business. They come undone, they come on, they come around. So, today I want to do something a little bit different where we're going to be talking about the inner child, and it's a pick a card. So, you guys are going to be interactive with this message. And this message is going to really resonate, hopefully, with what your inner child has been through or what it's going through. And we're going to talk about some healing ways that you can actually implement with the interaction and the integration of your inner child. I really want to speak on the inner child because one, your inner child is that voice, that inner voice that really rules your creative, God given talents in the way that you express this creativity. Um, if you haven't been checking out my podcast, my episodes, I've been speaking a lot about my awakened spiritual entrepreneurial journey. Woo, long lines, right? But I really believe that entrepreneurship, a soul led entrepreneurship path, is a spiritual journey and it awakens us to deeper gifts and a soul discovery for us to understand what our weaknesses are, our strengths are, and really help us cultivate what type of business we are really trying to serve for other people, that we're trying to create to help service other people, whether it be products, whether it be a service. We're still in service through our creativity. And we're co creating with the universe. And right now, I've been walking down a long corridor of transformation. And it took me a long time to understand how powerful it is to celebrate my wins. Look at how much I've done so far. And I've had a lot of losses. Let this thing go by. I'm sorry for the noise, y'all. But I had a lot of losses as well, that I felt like failures, right? And it took me a long time to really transmute those failures into um, celebrations of redirection, celebrations of ooh, recreation, right? And change and transformation. So, if you haven't celebrated already, I really encourage you to do so. I also encourage you to check out the links below because I have a group, a space that you all can actually join and witness the birth of my new card deck. Yay! It doesn't have a name yet, but I'm really drawing on the soul led journey of an entrepreneur and the things that we awaken to, as well as breakthrough, the inner child healing that's needed, the ancestral patterns that we awaken to. And really the soul discovery journey that we're on. I've been creating a lot of pictures on the low, and I think it's time for me to share them. And I really want to finish this project with people that resonate with me, resonate with the topics. I'm also going to be sharing a lot of knowledge and learning that can help you through your own healing journey, as well as share tidbits, right, for your own healing, your soul care, nurturing, right, through cards. So, those that are interested in cards and want to use them as a tool, like how I do, as a tool for your own healing journey, definitely come through, y'all. Come through. I got my mic in my hand, but come through. Okay? Because I'm here for all of that. I would love your support, whether it's through the YouTube channels by making a comment, just saying hello, or by checking out the space that I created, the Soul Journey Project, right? Where I'm going to be sharing some things and also be giving you exclusive contents, some exclusive services for those that want to support. And y'all can just be the first to watch the behind the scenes of the making. All right. So stay tuned, y'all, and let's get into this reading. Okay. Okay, people. So we have pile one, we have pile two, and we have pile three. Okay. Let me just adjust this camera real quick. Okay. So I want you to take a deep breath and just go with what you feel. Of course, you can pick more than one, but go with what you feel and ask yourself, what does your inner child want to tell you right now? Okay, let's get into it. Pile one, let's go. Okay, pile one. So we have, this is very interesting straight off the back. Okay, these are our healing cards that we'll save over here. But let's start it off, okay? Okay. So already I'm sensing that you are very intuitive. I hope you can see, yeah. Your inner child wants to tell you a lot about your intuitive gifts. Um, Also about the way that you self-care. I kind of feel that you go about healing in a way that's kind of very analytical, or maybe even like very scientific, backed up by like science data or whatever, but you have this inkling or knowing about your intuition. Your sensitivity levels have been growing. I already know because it's 2024. And if your intuitive levels and your sensitivities haven't been growing since 2020, I'd like to know and ask, who are you? Who are you, right? So, let's kind of like read about your inner child and the healer, okay? Okay, so you can definitely pause for the cause if you want to read this whole thing right here. Hopefully it's not like, yeah. Okay, so we'll just say when in light, it's self-contained, grateful, awake. And when in dark, it's tired, needy, forgetting its own practices. All right. So I do think that for some, we already know here, like your inner child has definitely been calling you to be like, yo, we need to do some type of rituals, some type of practices. This is very interesting too because it has the three heads. I don't know. I just closed the book to see if they talk about that. But the snake is something that is a symbol of like hidden knowledge, forbidden fruit, right? Taboo type of things. Um, it's kind of scorpionic, honestly, but not necessarily. But it also is about cycles. As you see, this card is in this a circle. Basically, it's reminding me of the symbol of the head, the snake biting, its tail. It's cycle. It's rebirth. Um, and it does speak about return, reclaim, right? And then Aveda, avidya, the word that's Sanskrit of avidya means forgetting. So the healer's mission then becomes to move through the comfort of the forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, and relieve the radiance that already exists. Okay, so again, you can pause for the cause if you rewind. But what I want to say is, I think that one, your pile one, your medicine is also your trauma, right? Your wound. The way that you got wounded is the way that you will heal yourself. And I'm just looking at that as, it's like, don't be so analytical or feel like there's a certain linear right way to go about this. It's okay if you come back to a certain space that you thought you've healed already, because we're always healing, right? We're always healing. We can constantly think that, like, yeah, I did this. We celebrate our wins, right? Like I said in the very beginning, and it's like, yeah, I moved forward from this, right? And then there's something that hits you, right? And then it triggers you in a way that may be very emotional, whether you're outlashing with anger or you're just sobbing, right? With the water cleansing what you need to cleanse. And one, it's okay to cry, right? If you feel that's not, you go to your inner child here, right? You go to your inner child. Let me get some more information. Okay. Yes. See, very water. I don't know if you are a Scorpio. I don't know if you are a Pisces or a Cancer, or you just have some strong placements in your chart, right? That really taps into the water, because the element of water is very healing. It's your emotions, it's energy in motion, and our mind and our heart, right, directs that energy. But when we are overly analytical about certain things, that will definitely stop us, right? I'm seeing this cycle again. What goes around comes around. Um, And just as I'm thinking about this too, sometimes like you may be locked in like a karma loop, right? And when people think about karma, it's like, oh, why did I do this, right? And it relates a lot to the modern, I guess, religions, where we're always talking about sin and heaven and hell and black and white. But in more of the ancient religions or ancient practices of spirituality, it's more of, with every action there's a reaction, right? It's how are we relating to the earth, the planet, the stars, the universe that we're living in physically, and the you universe, right, that we have within ourselves. And the more that we look within, the more that we see and know that we can create without, on the outside of things. And as you can see here, um, this woman, I'll say, or man, whatever gender, um, it's been bruised. It's definitely been bruised. But the eyes are closed and doesn't even realize that, its hair, its energy is taking these swords out. I never really looked at this card before like this, but it's kind of reminding me of skin. And like is it detriment, edem, oh god, I don't know the scientific term of skin. But see what I'm trying to say? If I stop myself, I want to be able to keep flowing. And at the end of the day, it's like when you can actually look within, cater to your needs, cater to understanding what your basic needs are. Are they met? You can kind of be more at ease. And then you realize when you can actually open up to this healing, open up to this cleansing, right? Taking more salt baths, right? Detoxifying things out of your life, out of your body, out of your mind, out of your soul, in your aura. Then you'll be able to understand what moves you need to make next. Okay? So I'm just going to go a little bit deeper. We got 8 of Swords. Wow. Right now you must really be feeling stuck, pile on. But I need you to know everything that you need is within you. Oh, is within you. Hold on, it fell. I honestly just wanted 3, but we're just going to move this up and take all that came out, okay? Is this still on camera? Yes. So we have the 8 of Wands and the 4 of Wands. I'm also thinking like, who do I trust? Like what healer can help heal my needs, right? But you do need to have some form of self-help, some form of self-healing, right? Whether it's through a ritual, whether it's through just reading a book. There's something that you need to start and become more consciously willing to be open to receive, so that way the vibrations and the frequencies can match to meet the type of people that you want to connect with. This 4 of Wands definitely speaks on community, feeling safe in having a sacred space as well, grounded in your practices. And I think that there's nothing wrong with not knowing, but it can get very uncomfortable when you start trying to be this perfectionist and blocking yourself from connecting with the people that you truly desire, right? Blocking yourself from learning new things that may feel a bit taboo, or may feel a little bit uncomfortable because that old part of your ego is telling you like, no, 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 we're not doing this, right? This also reminded me of the lower chakras too, the physical thing. Really understand that we have this polarity within this realm, this universe. Again, as I said, um, as what's going on within, things are going on without. And I'm surprised that the Mobius, is it called the Mobius symbol? I don't know. You know, the infinity symbol, what goes around comes around. That's really what it speaks of. And there's a need to learn more things because there are more things for you to learn. But I do think that your inner child is calling out to you like, yo, I really want you to learn about XYZ. So, pile one, have you felt a nudge to learn about a specific topic? That's one thing I totally want to ask you. Because if you have, what's really stopping you from learning, right? Your creativity is on fire. I feel that you're very intuitive and creative. And there's something that your heart is desiring to create for yourself, then soon enough for other people if you're thinking about having a business, right? Because your ideas are for self first, right? The creation of the process of creativity is about really discovering what's going on inside so then you can in turn express that on the outward and serve for others, and that's when we turn this into a business. But your ideas do have to be profitable, right? And I love to help people through that process, right? But when we're speaking about you, pile one, we're speaking about getting out of your head, getting out of the old limiting beliefs that keep you stuck. Look into self-sabotage, right? Saboteurs. There's a lot of different types of saboteurs that our inner child connects and bonds with, to make us feel safe. And those are developed within the early ages of 7 and below, and sometimes even developed in our teenage years. But there's a point where you have to separate that and understand, okay, this is where I'm at right now, right? And how do I parent myself? How do I disconnect from the words that my mother told me that don't really rock with me anymore? How do I disconnect from the words that my father told me or did not even tell me that I don't rock with right now, right? And this goes for anybody, any age, any adult age, right? You could be 70 something years old and still be able to be mindful of these thoughts so they don't tamper with, or so they don't stop you from creating the good and the love that you want to share and express with others. This could be looked at in two ways. It can be looked at as the ideas are coming through and looking to ground into your reality from your imagination to the real life, right? Of the physical. Or it could be looking like you're on fire and you're really wanting to express, but you're suppressing this, right? And possibly making yourself sick, right? Whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically. So let's talk about the healing. Let's talk about the healing. I'm going to get a chakra affirmation card from my deck. There we go. And I don't think that you're in a bad space. And everyone has a guardian angel, I just want to share. And even though this angel isn't exactly the angel that your guardian angel is, right? I wanted to pick this to represent what type of guides, what type of energy is coming through for you right now at this time. So we have resolve. We have Desert Jasper, Vesta, and in the heart chakra. I am grateful for my life every day. Let's look at the shadow side. I hate my life and nobody cares. Okay. So pile one, I do want to share with you too. This is a trigger warning, but I'm getting a sense of not wanting to be here physically on this physical plane. Possibly unalive me. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but you know where I'm going with this. And if this is for you, I do want you to know that, oh, child, a lot of times because we are so different, we feel lonely in a crowded room and we don't recognize the beauty that we hold within us. Because it wasn't nourished, because it wasn't said, because it wasn't treated in a sacred or just loving manner. And I just want to give you grace and love right now, even though I'm speaking through this screen. You are loved, you are needed, and whatever you are holding within yourself is dying to get out and be expressed. You know, what you went through, what you are going through is an inspiration to someone that sharing your imperfections and how you went about it is so needed. You really don't know how needed that is. So I definitely would love for you to work on your heart chakra so that way you can release all things that aren't serving your highest good, right? And work on more soul discovery, work on more of cultivating your God-given talents. We all have a purpose, and our purpose, number one, is to share this God-given talent, whether it's to a ladybug, to an old lady that's walking across the street, or to millions of people on earth. I don't know what your purpose is, but I can totally tell you certain aspects of what that is. You know, I do have a soul discovery reading that I share for others, and you can definitely get a discount with that if you want to join the Soul Journey Project group. But going back to you, Desert Jasper, I do believe Vesta is a a star. Let me see. One quick second. Okay, so Desert Jasper, it says confidence, assurance, settled. Your strength is discernment. I really think I'm speaking to Power One, like the empaths here too, because look, manifest your highest good, work with pure love. I don't really like using this word, but I know if you know, you know, twin flame too. I don't know if there is someone that lit up your world and then you just felt like they abandoned you. I don't mean to laugh at that, but usually that's kind of how it goes if you resonate with that terminology, twin flame. And the thing here is that soulmate, that type of soulmate, came into your life to actually put up a huge mirror in front of you and show you what your deepest, darkest desires are and your deepest, darkest fears are. And for you to really work through that and to work through ancestral patterns, if you feel guided to, look through some of those things, because that is where your ancestors are your first spiritual defense. So they guide you and guard you from things that they didn't do or that they want to do, but don't think that, because they can also see your purpose and your plan, your spiritual plan. We don't, because we forgot that, right? But when you connect to your ancestors, both known and unknown, but connect to the highest form of, the ancestors that are serving for your highest good, because they can bring you down, okay? Just like a friend. But I do think that you need to work on the heart chakra so you can trust yourself more, because you have a beautiful gift amongst many gifts, I'm sure, but a beautiful gift of being a human lie detector. That is what most of, I want to say, empaths feel when they truly know and understand and see their gift as a blessing instead of a burden, okay? And then there's a need for you to do more energy hygiene type of, I'm getting lost for words, come back. And open up to your crown chakra too, because I'm seeing this purple here, this purple here, this purple here. There's a lot of divine wisdom that you hold once you can trust in the divine, trust in the unknown, trust in your spiritual team. And if you're new to understanding what that is, definitely stick around because I'm going to start sharing some things about that. Um, I really want to share some of these things first and foremost, though, in my group. That's why I'm doing this card deck, and this is also why I'm created this group, because I want it to be a sacred space other than just the internet. For a long time, I wanted to just have like, like, why am I not getting 100K views and blah, 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 right? But it really is for me to have a sacred space right now before I do boom, before I do blow up, okay? And there is a need for me to really love my life, no matter what I'm going through physically, If I was living in a cardboard box, God forbid, whoever it is or was, or if that's ever happened to you, when you have a heart of gold, that means that you are happy with your life no matter what the circumstances are, because you are truly connected to the divine. And you don't know what that plan is, but the more that you trust yourself, the more you trust your intuition. And the more you trust your intuition, the more that you understand how the source energy, the divine source energy, God, whatever, speaks to you in a certain way or manner that connects with your creativity as well. And through that, whether, it's the clair meaning clear vision, clear hearing, clear audience, clairvoyance. So you can actually understand that and have this symbiotic relationship, or this infinity symbol of sharing and receiving the love from the universe to yourself. And one last thing I do want to share, right? The asteroid Vesta, which is in astrology, holds pure fiery goddess energy that is a representation of igniting your inner flame. See, I do think that you guys are connected with that twin flame stuff. Vesta is your potential at its finest. So, I would say for you to Google what your Vesta is. Check out my soul discovery readings as well if you don't know how to read your birth chart. But if you're a little bit more advanced where you kind of know how to read your birth chart, check out what your Vesta is, because that's going to show you a lot of your creativity, a lot of your soul purpose and path that can actually help, again, like I started off, heal you first, because you have to heal yourself to a certain extent to start healing other people. And there are major milestones that our soul goes through to really graduate, right, to a certain higher degree of wisdom that we've been carrying, and sometimes suppress, because this world does not appreciate these type of sensitivities, these types of gifts, and this uniqueness, right? So I speak to those that are feeling like black sheeps, or just underdogs, right? Those are who I'm connecting to. So I know whoever was resonating with this definitely feels, like one of those labels, empaths or whatever. And I know that you have a strong knowing, a strong healing energy amongst you that is looking to share this pureness and pure love that your inner child wants to give you, that you want to give other people. And there's probably I don't know if it's a creative project or if it's just a knowing that you've had since young that you've been dying to share, and with others. That's what you're going to need to focus on to heal within yourself, so you can in turn express that. All right, so this is my message. Sorry, these damn little cars always go around. I can't stand them because they're so loud. I don't know why they're so loud. But yeah, work on finding the beauty within you, and the wisdom, the beautiful wisdom that you hold within your heart to help start healing that, and guide you in the right direction of this soul discovery that you're on. All right. So until next time, I'm outie. I definitely would love for you to check out the links below because I totally have some goodies that would serve and help you in your healing process, whether it be in my sacred space, my soul journey project, or whether it be some of my services. And I'd love for you to support me by liking this because the more readings that I have, your energy is infused in these readings. And also just say hi if you don't know what to say about the comment section, because again, those are two free ways, especially that you can support me, and if you haven't subscribed and you're feeling the vibe, definitely do so. And catch me next time. I'm outie, y'all. Peace. Let's go to pile two. Hey, y'all. Let's see what pile two has. All right. Let's see. These are your healing cards. So, some advice on the healing journey. But let's see where we're at right now. Okay. Okie dokie. This is kind of feeling like pile two. But the difference here is that you're at a stage where you're being rewarded for something here. Something's going on and your inner child wants to share this beautiful medallion, but it's also like, let me just put this here too. Because pile two, there's something that you're receiving or going to be receiving from your inner child the more that you work with it. Let's get one card, please. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a new day. It's a new life. Okay, here. Yeah, it's like, I think there's some wisdom that's going to happen. I don't think that you've came across this wisdom. If you have, definitely comment below, but I'm not really sure. Let me see what the medallion wants to say first, and let's get into this reading, okay? Okay, so like I say to everybody, pause for the cause if you want to read this on your own time, but I am going to just see whatever pops out. So do you believe the objects contain supernatural properties? When have you experienced this to be true? Okay, so there's a clair, I don't remember what that's called, but some people can touch certain objects and feel, and this is why I'm saying power one, the empath, right? However the sensitivity you have, right? But let's say like I don't know, I use this for something, right? A specific thing, and you came here and touched this. You'd be able to pick up on the energy of why I use these things. If this is you, this is definitely your pile. Now, if this isn't you, you may have this gift and you don't know yet, right? Or you just, I don't know, it's just something that's coming in for you because there's a little bit of work that you've been working on. Seeing this like lividity, I always say that word wrong, but I think that you're leveling up to new higher wisdom and understanding. I do think that you broke through a cycle that feels finally that you're able to release and remove and let go of. And this medallion, right? Working with your inner child will definitely help you. It says heirloom here too. So maybe the inner child has been like connecting with your ancestors too. Let's just read the first two sentences here. The passing of sacred objects is an ancient ritual with families, between lovers, and in tribes across the globe. We gift jewels, treasures, keepsakes, and mementos of all kinds. Some of great material value, others that hold emotional resonance, like I was talking about, and still others that with both. So definitely just check this out. Read in your own time. When in light, upholding tradition, protecting, honoring, and when dark, burden, inheritance, and habituation. So I think, right, you've been really going through this ancestral pattern that you may have just found out or you're about to find out, pile two. Also, I do think that, again, what did I say? I said the ancestors have been working with you, right? Your inner child. But I also think like, I'm really feeling that you broke through this ancestral, I don't know, like it's like this habit and you're just becoming aware of it, or you're about to become aware of what actually this is. I don't think this is something physical. If it is something physical, like maybe you're about to have like a new job, um, a new home, right? Maybe something is going to be passed down. I'm also hearing like, eighth house. The eighth house in your astrology chart is pretty much like heirlooms and things that you pass down. And it can also be gifts. So like for instance, someone that's been discovering something and I don't know, they came across something, right? Okay, I'll share something with mine. I haven't found out what his gift truly was, but I remember I kept hearing a name. This was like 2020, I think. And it hit me. I was like, wait a second. I think I saw this name in like one of the family like pictures or something. I don't know. And I just had this inkling. My intuition guided me to ask my dad, hey, who in our family is named, this? He was like, oh, that's my grandfather. So that would make it your great grandfather. And I'm like, basically, long story short, my great grandfather was connecting to me. And I started to just start connecting back. Come to find out, he did certain things like I'm doing right now, though he was frowned upon. But I'm sharing this gift how the breadcrumbs, when you listen, right, the breadcrumbs are there. If you're aware of the breadcrumbs, pick them up because it will lead you to a space of more information and possibly like family stuff, like maybe you wanted to know, like, damn, like so and so actually didn't have a child. They just made, like, I don't know. It's so many stories that our family went through. But when you understand their story, you start to understand your own story too and how that serves you in what you're doing, whether it be for a business or where you're trying to go just to better up for your own being, your own self, right? Got the Ace of Swords again. Let's just get one more, I guess. You may want to watch pile one. 10 of Wands. Yeah, you definitely hit like a breaking point and possibly just... Oh, can we move this up? And you're being called. Welcome to the channel because this is what I talk about, soul call. So I'm not going to put this in, but this was hiding. 6 of Swords. You definitely moved to a new space. A new space. And feeling of calm. And then we have this. Yeah, something ended. Please tell me what ended, y'all, if you picked this, because I would love to know. If it's, if it's too private, that's all good. But I do think that you are being called to something new because you just finished this cycle of healing, this huge level that really needs to be congratulated. So congratulations. The sun will come out tomorrow. It also might feel like you've just finished that dark night of the soul, if you understand what that is. And I think that you've been creating some things, right? You really have been in this soul discovery vibe. You've really been like learning things that are spiritual, learning ancestral things, just learning about the unseen things, right? And for a long time, it felt like you were in a dark space, but you still held that light, okay? And as many matches that you lit and felt that they burnt out, they still was lit inside you. And then there was a part where, drum roll, the ancestors. This is a cicada. And to me, cicadas really speak on ancestral things because they are buried in the ground for a good, I don't remember if it's like a decade or even longer. And they come out when they're ready to mate. And they shed their skin. That's why you hear it in the summertime a lot of times, that little like noise. That's them shedding their skin and possibly mating. I'm not sure. But it's like spreading their wings like, hey, I have a story. I've been buried. There's a card in my quote deck, the Attitude Gratitude, which is being remade. But it was saying sometimes you feel that you've been buried, right? But you've actually been planted. And when you're creating things, right? When you plant a seed, where do you plant it? You don't plant it above ground. You plant it in the earth and you water it and you nurture it. And I think that pile two, you've been doing this so much so that whatever the seed was, right? It's actually like your season is here. And the death card is now, I don't know if someone physically died, right, and crossed over. I don't know. But I do think that you've shed a lot of skin that is no longer needed, that is actually allowing you to have your point of view in a new whole clarity. And if you haven't gotten this clarity yet, there's a few things that need to come through, but the sun will rise and the sun will be able to show you new things. In the medicine wheel, right? We start in the east where the sun rises. And that is usually, the medicine wheel speaks of creation. And in creation, I believe, don't quote me, but East is the inner child where they're developing and trying to understand certain things that, were that they're naive to, like learning and gathering information that they really want to learn. And when you see this here, this is the astrological wheel, right? Aries is the baby. That's where we start the journey, and we go all the way to Pisces to complete the 360 degrees wheel, which is your natal wheel, right? Which is your birth wheel, and discovering all the planets and how the stars aligned when you were first born. So if you'd like to check out my soul discovery reading, definitely check it out. It's in the link below. But also, you can check out all my links in below because I have a space, a sacred space where I'm creating this project, and I totally feel this pile too, like this brightness, this like shedding of skin, shedding of like so many layers, and really feeling like reborn, but reborn with like this old knowledge and wisdom that you are wakening up to. Kudos to you. Let's see how we're going to heal this. Let's talk about the heart chakra. Let's talk about, I don't know if you have the heart chakra, but let's talk about which chakra the inner child wants you to recognize. Oop. Okay, we'll keep this, right? So this one is the shadow. I don't know if I'm waking you up to new things, but I know that this is, and look at this gold and yellow, right? Spotlight. I don't know if we have any Leos in the building watching this. I'm afraid of change. What if things go wrong? This is a shadow recognition. If this resonates with you, really understand when you are doing this, when you are saying this. Because if you're saying this, this can be the aspect of what your inner child needs to heal. Why would your inner child be saying these type of things, right? Then I want you to look at the light activation and affirm, I seek opportunities for my personal growth and spiritual growth, right? Because I do think that this has been a theme, a seed that you planted with this affirmation, because of whatever was going on of feelings of change. Wheel of Fortune talks about change, right? It talks about that. And you may have been feeling down in the dark, in the shadows, but when you recognize your shadows, make peace with your shadows, right? And shine light on them and work through them. Now it's like, okay, I'm less triggered. Now it's like, oh, this is the ego. I see you. Don't make me flash that light on you, right? And then you kind of start understanding, okay, this is what I need to go and work through, because now you have a whole bunch of different healing tools, right? That you can work through, and more to come. Intuition. Look at this. Intuition, water element, aquamarine. Wow. This is like a upgraded version of Power One. And I pulled the angel cards because everybody has a guardian angel that walks through life, in this life. And for what I'm learning, walks through all your lifetimes. But we're going to keep it on this lifetime right now, okay? And this is Archangel. I can never say it, but I'm going to try. But Yellow. I don't know. Be interdependent, expand your horizons. Okay. like I said, you're look at this horizons, new day. I think that you are really like the breadcrumbs are coming. Like, I think you already know there's something deep within you that wanted to be expressed. I think that you were kind of trying to figure out how you were going to express this. How were you going to create this? How are you going to get from point A to point Z, right? And you may not be at Z, XYZ. You might not be there yet, but are you could be at S, you could be at F. I don't know, but you definitely graduated. There's a celebration of graduation here spiritually, a level up spiritually that you are entering, and your ancestors are backing you. Your angels are backing you, and they are rooting for you to be interdependent, right? Not quite so much independent, and definitely not codependent, right? But there's this knowledge of balance, right? And knowing like, hey, I'm aligned with these people. I'm aligned with the values and um the beliefs that we both share, so we can work on a common goal and really meet that goal together. All right, that's what a balanced relationship is. And I don't know, pile two, if you've been shedding a lot of toxic limiting beliefs, a lot of toxic relationships. Even, I don't really see any relationship cards in here, but I do think that maybe you even awaken to knowing the boundaries of the spirits that you've been interacting with, and telling them, hey, no, no, we're not doing that. Because you do have sovereignty. You do have that authority to tell spirits, no, I do not want to engage with this energy. Leave me alone. You do have that. And the more strength and knowing and self trust that you have with that, the easier it is to say no. Because I know for me, in the beginning of my empathic label and discovering what an empath is and stuff, I didn't know. And I felt like this was a burden. I felt so like debilitating at one point with the energy. And it took a while, a couple of years, for me to understand, like, oh shit, I can actually say no, you know. But through that, you also have to keep up on your soul care, your energy hygiene routines and things like that, which I feel that pile to, so kudos to you. But this is a death of just old energies, and your inner child is really congratulating you on what a great job that you've been doing, all the stuff that you went through. Ooh, it's just like, maybe you need to just take a day to just bask in the things that you've achieved thus far, the things that you've went through just thus far. Give yourself some flowers, like literally and figuratively. And even give the ancestors some flowers, because your whole spiritual team, right, has been guiding you. Your guardian angel, this isn't your guardian angel, but this is just the energy that represents it, is huge. First of all, like, do you see how it's holding these planets? And it's also helping you to expand to this outer knowledge or inner knowledge that you already have. You don't have it yet, but it's coming. And the more that you just acknowledge and celebrate and be open to this unknown energy, this receiving energy that your spiritual team wants to give you, and your inner child just wants to say thank you. Thank you so much for keeping me protected. Thank you so much for creating with me, bringing joy and finding out the things that make you happy and whole within yourself. And really like letting go of the people that have been weighing you down and draining you like no other, and distracting you as well. Your inner child is really saying that you are golden, you are blessed, and it's such a blessing and blissful experience for you to actually connect and acknowledge and validate me. That's what your inner child wants to say. Okay. And definitely remember where you're going. Remember your why you've been doing this, and keep up the good work, pile two. All right, that is my message for you. If you're looking for more of a community that wants to share tools, right? I'm going to be sharing some tools that help you discover deeper healing with cards, and I'm creating my own cards over at the Soul Journey Project, where you get to see behind the scenes of the process of this new card deck that I'm birthing. And you get, if you're in there, you're going to get some exclusive well, you'll definitely see the exclusive product that I'm creating, but you're also going to be getting exclusive discounted services and a few other things that I don't want to share. I just want you to look at, the incentives. Um, and also, check out my services too, because you never know, right? But another way that you can support me, if you're feeling the vibe, definitely subscribe, definitely like, because when you like, you infuse your energy, and these card readings will feel more congruent and aligned to you and your energy. And also comment, say hi, tell me what resonated, what didn't, whatever. But if you don't know, just say hi, thank you, whatever. It supports the channel and it supports me to reach more people. So I love you, thank you, congratulations, and I'm moving on to pile 3. Okay, all right. Pile 3, we are in the building. Let's see what your inner child message wants to bring to you. Look at this. Your inner child, internal child, you definitely got a message going through. Let's see. Oh, yeah, you had 2 healing messages that I'm not going to share with you right now. Those are the healing messages. Why do we only have 1? Okay. So this is what we're going to do right now. I'm just going to get actually 2 cards. There we go. So, what is this going on here? Looks like something's been a little tricky. I'm going to leave this here, because I don't know. Right off the bat, I'm looking at like the 3 of Cups, which is like a party card, which is about like community and just like friendship and stuff like that. I don't know if you had some, like, did you just let go of some tricky ass like friends? Or did you have to, like, I don't know. Let's see. Because this already speaks tricky to me. The 7 of Swords here. Or possibly your inner child is saying like, hey, because that you let go of so many like friends that weren't serving for your highest good, right? That you're going to be blessed with some new ones that resonate with you. Look at this, springtime. 6 of Wands here. That's 6 of Wands really speaks about it speaks about being seen. It speaks about like not completing. What is this? Like being celebrated, right? Let me see what this eternal child wants to say. Okay. So, pause for the cause if you want to read this whole thing, right? But I'm just going to speak on what jumps out to me. So, the inner child, right, is the eternal child. And in pile 2, I was speaking about this a lot. Um, the eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. The eternal child wants to nix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. Let's talk this real quick. It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. So I don't know, like what I just was saying before, in light, joyful, playful aspects of all magic, when dark, addicted, selfish, adrift, burn out. Celebratory, that's not what that word says, but celebrity culture is based heavily on this archetype. As it is, what is it saying? As it is a phrase, live hard, die young, and the series of artists and musicians who died at 27. What? Why is it saying at 27? I don't know this. This archetype is so spirited that when its appetite for life isn't satisfied, it seeks spirits of substance elsewhere. The eternal child struggles with addiction of all varieties. Interesting. I spoke a little bit about something that I was feeling in pile 1, but everything is temporary, right? So I kind of feel that like the inner child is actually like getting over the grief of losing like childhood friends. You know, you might be one of those people that had friends from childhood, you know, from 10 plus years, 20 plus years. I don't know how old you are, but I do think that you're finally accepting and actually wanting new people in your life that actually vibrates, resonates, connects with the limiting, excuse me, not limiting beliefs, connects with the beliefs and values that you have. And it took a long time for you because I kind of think that some of you, Pile 3, like you may have grew up very fast and either had like responsibilities at a very young age or just went through certain things or saw certain things that really really was pungent in, you know, your child's mind, and you couldn't really understand that at that young age, and it pretty much vibrated onto your adulthood. And like maybe even hearing the word inner child was something that you might have laughed at, you know, like what, inner child, like I have to connect with that, like please, you know what I mean? And it's reminding me of, I just saw this in my head. So I don't know if you've seen this meme before, but it was a meme on Instagram that I saw that said, I tried to connect with my inner child, but that bastard bit me or something, or that little effer bit me. And that's kind of what happens when you've had a very traumatic childhood. You know, I do believe all of us have went through some type of trauma in our life. You might not think that, but when anything that you've experienced disrupts your nervous system to a point where you're not sure how to bring it back to homeostasis, bring it back to center and calm, that's trauma. Okay. Um, I remember someone saying how a lot of kids go through trauma of their first day of school, like kindergarten, preschool. You know, some kids are like newborns. Well, maybe not newborns, but they're in, you know, early childhood stuff as a baby because their mom got to work. And honestly, when you really start digging deep into that, it's kind of like how many kids have been able to suck on the ninny, right? Who was breastfed? Breastfeeding not only gives you the nutrients that your body needs as an infant, but it also allows that symbiotic relationship. I don't know, I keep saying this because I said this in pile 2, I think, or pile 1, but that connection with the mother and connection with nurturing. The way this world is set up doesn't even give space for the mother, the woman, the woman to actually nurture that, their own creations, right? And sometimes when we don't really see it as that, we're constantly projecting this anger and this hurt, you know, on whoever your birth mother is. If you even know who your birth mother is, right? There could be trauma from the birth mother where you didn't know it because maybe the mom died young when you were like a baby, or maybe when because you know you were adopted or whatever. There's a lot of things that you have to sort through, but we're going to look in because I think that you've came to terms, whether knowingly or not, that your inner child is here to help you, you know, just release responsibilities, be able to chill, but also be able to create things from a space, whether it's tangible things that you want to create, you know, that can be eventually led to a business, or whether it's just creating a vibe that you need, you know, creating a sacred space that you need to help you heal through wherever you're healing through on this journey that we call life, you know. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Move this up some. Okay. Let's dive a little bit deeper. What does the inner child want to tell us right now? Okay. Okay. get one more. Oh no, we don't need one more. So Two of Wands. We have Two of Wands here. You're definitely walking through the fire. For some of you that have been battling addictions, whether it's substances, um, sex, drugs, money, money addictions. Money addictions can be, feeling like just very impulsive spending habits. We're going to put this here so we can see the foxes. Because this stuff runs deep, y'all. And like, sometimes, like, I know somebody that's very near and dear to me that um I think that, like, they didn't really tell me, but I think that they did start healing a certain thing. And a lot of times when you're dealing with like the mundane type of psychologists or whatever, right, they always ask about your childhood, whether how vulnerable you are or not. They'll tell you certain stuff. And honestly, this is just me. If anybody's watching this and, you don't have to agree with me or whatever, but I do think that the system of psychology, especially in America, that's the only thing that I know. I don't know if they do it in other places, but like it's very like label and like scientific, like putting you in a box type of thing. And a lot of times it's like, well, you have ADHD. A lot of times it makes you feel that like something is wrong with you instead of embracing the gifts behind that label, right? Again, I was speaking about the empath. When they finally know that their gift is a blessing and not a burden, that's when you start really growing into your God-given gifts, right? And just growing spiritually all around the boards. Instead of feeling that you're sensitive, you cry too much, it's like this daunting, burdensome feeling. And I do think that there was a lot of heartache that your inner child, your eternal child went through as a young child, because the eternal child is the eternal child, right? Psychological, the inner child is pretty much, I want to say, like if we were to give it an age, um, whenever you stopped being like living with your parents, honestly, or depending on your parents for like safety and like money and stuff, And I do think here that there has been some type of form of addiction, this addictive pattern that you've been working on, or that you're really willing to dive deeper into, but there's a need for you to dive deeper and connect with that inner child, and connect with that heartache. And I know that doesn't sound inviting at all, because who wants to connect with heartache, right? But when you're willing and you go through certain things and recognize your strength, recognize the shit that you went through, you're still here. So you actually overcame that to a certain degree. I do think that you've been in this like limbo phase, right? Of really seeing yourself in this victor mentality instead of the victim mentality. And I know a lot of things have happened to you, pile three. I really do think there has been a lot of things happening here. I really do. Even like from the friends, right, that you picked was because of the energy that were very familiar to you. Some of you created a family, um almost like an orphan would, right? But it's like trauma bonding. And trauma bonding deals with a lot of codependency. It deals with a lot of connecting to the things that made you believe a certain way of seeing yourself because of the trauma you went through, the hardships you went through, the adversity you went through. The Five of Swords, you even went through a lot of mental anguish through this stuff. But the Two of Wands, you see this spark? The Two of Wands to me always represents like through the fire, through the limit, you know that Shaka Khan song that was sampled by Kanye West? Um, is going through the fire, right? Having the passion and the courage to go through the fire, even though you know you're going to get burnt, but also learning that hopefully, or having enough hope and faith in yourself that you will learn and connect with the type of fire suit you need to protect yourself, right? And what I'm talking about is you protect your inner child from repeating these patterns by understanding and being aware of ancestral patterns, but understanding and being aware of your limiting beliefs, what cycling like affirmations that are very daunting and self-harming to you that you keep telling yourself that really focus on that you're not good enough when you are, because look how much that you have achieved. You've got out of this stuff. I do think that you really have disconnected yourself, and you're at a point that kind of feels like kind of like alone in a way. Hold up, why is this blurry? Kind of like you kind of feel like a little bit alone in a way, because it's like you're still around some of these people that just don't get you anymore, and you've outgrown your friends. And if you haven't got rid of those friends, there's a need for you to have some type of grievance phase, a grace period, to allow you to look at how you don't relate to these kids anymore, how you don't relate to these people anymore, and really look at what type of people you want to connect with, right? And in doing that, you can release these words of, oh, I'm not good enough, or these people don't get me, or what else would the inner child, a wounded inner child would say, like, I'm not good enough for these people. I don't deserve these type of people. You deserve exactly what you want and desire. You have the permission to have this, but you have to believe that. And how you believe that is by looking at the limiting beliefs, looking at these words that tell you and discourage you, right? And then actually forming them into a new affirmation. This is how my chakra affirmation I created, because the chakras hold shadows and light. They hold polarities within you. But throughout these polarities, we can still have two truths, right? We can still do that. Why not? Like, I like strawberry ice cream and I like vanilla ice cream. That's okay. And chocolate, right? Actually, I don't like chocolate, but I'm just saying that for, you know, um, let's see. I want to share some healing stuff for you. I don't say what I mean or finish what I start. Let's look at the light activation, because that's the shadow. I am reliable, I am brave, and I see things through. So let me tell you a story real quick. I know a little kid that's really close to me. They're not quite 7 yet. And they've been doing a lot of lying. A lot of lying. And there's one side of me that sees this little kid as kind of wanting to be mischievous, but kind of wanting to do certain things for shock value, because they've been through a lot of shocking things within their 6 years of life so far, right? I know this kid very well, and this kid has went through some traumatic shit, okay? There's another side of me that sees this little kid as lying because he just wants to be seen as this good little kid, but doesn't really know, because every time this little kid's imagination or their brain just thinks that I thought I was good, but these people keep doing XYZ to me. Why is this happening? It's kind of hard to digest at the age of 6, right? And this is why I've seen their caretaker try to tell them to lie about certain things, because the caretaker thought it was protecting them. One, me personally, I don't think that putting that child in that predicament made them feel any safer. I think it just confused it. And also, this child is super sensitive. And I'm bringing this up because, oh, here it is. Dun, 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 dun. This is what the mind goes through when they feel like they are at battle with themselves, feel that they are even spiritually attacked. Sometimes we are spiritually attacked, and it affects our thoughts and decisions for sure. But it keeps us kind of in limbo. It keeps us also in this self-sacrificial type of energy as well. And it keeps us like in this devilment energy that feels relatable in a way because these things keep happening to me. But when you can actually unpack unpack your feelings on how you even feel about these things anyway, right? Then it's like, okay, I can start understanding that my feelings are valid because I'm validating these feelings. You know what I mean? Like the gaslighting, the ghosting, abandonment issues, all this stuff can start making more sense to why we're doing what we do and why we react, right? Because a lot of times when you're still relating to your trauma, there's a lot of subconscious things that you're reacting because you're getting triggered like fuck, right? And you don't want to be like, oh my God, I don't know how to decide things for myself. You want to be in a way that can calm your energy down first and continue to practice this. So then you can trust yourself and in turn trusting others and not being in relationships that ooze toxicity from your childhood. This is a representation of your guardian angel. I'm also thinking that this may be a spirit animal for you, whether it be like a husky or a wolf even, right? This isn't exactly your guardian angel, but I wanted to give this because everybody has a guardian angel, from this lifetime, and I'm learning even like past lifetimes, other dimensions, they stick with you. And the energy of your guardian angel is to give and receive love, obey the spiritual laws. So I do think like one law is what goes around comes around, Um, another, what comes up must come down. It's kind of like this reciprocal karmic energy, right? That every reaction has an action. But to not to debilitate you, right? But to know that, if you've been doing substance drugs, right? To know that in order to find a way to work through this toxicity that you've actually been putting in your body, you also have to learn how to eradicate that through the mind first and foremost, through the emotions and the physical, right? So we're like, to me, affirmations are great because they speak to the subconscious. There's also things on YouTube now that are called subliminals that I think, I don't have facts of this, but I think that the media has been doing since TV and radio has came out, sending subliminal frequencies to our mind that keep us all filtered and not really knowing our true selves, right? And look at this clarity and momentum. So I think for you, pile 3, there's a need for you to trust your inner child, rediscover the things that bring you joy, and only you, not the things that your friends, your old friends, or even new friends, whatever, your family, no, the things that bring you joy by yourself. And start feeling comfortable with doing that, because the first thing to creating and rediscovering your soul path and soul journey is to know what makes me and my soul feel happy. Not what somebody told me feels happy, not with my boyfriend or girlfriend makes me feel happy. What makes me feel happy when I'm alone? Because when you do that, then you can really bring in more self love. You can bring in more energy towards your spirit team, your ancestors, right? All these things that are unseen. And it also allows you to raise your vibe so you can connect with these energies, these elemental energies that are unseen, that really show love right back to you. You know, it's just kind of like when you're at a tree and you're near a tree, that carbon dioxide, is it, or whatever, and the oxygen, it's a relationship that's giving and receiving, and bringing new energy and downloads and things like that so you can create and build momentum. I do think that for you, pile 3, there's a need for you, if you're still battling, right, with the addictions, create a new ritual that can allow you to feel good. Okay. And if you go off path, don't beat yourself up, but continue to affirm that you're going to work through this. First and foremost, right? I love myself. I know better. I know what's good for myself. Um, I know the type of people that align with my values and beliefs. And if you don't know your values and beliefs right now, start writing them out. Okay. And writing these things down will definitely give you more strength because it gets it out of your head. You get to see it and you get to believe it. Also, it will bring you clarity. Writing is a great tool to bring clarity, and if you're in this phase where you've healed a lot of things, from your sobriety, or I'm not even going to use that word. I'm going to say you've let go and released a lot of patterns that weren't serving your highest and greatest good, right? That were feeding to your addictive habits, right? You've released a lot of those, but you still kind of feel like this weird, uncomfortable um, loneliness bothering you. Again, start really finding something that is more more around your values and beliefs, but more, I don't really want to say more spiritual, but more, I guess, yeah, I do want to say more spiritual. Like, start looking into what spiritual laws mean. Because that is the true. You always have a truth within yourself, but then there's this nature true, right? The universal truth that is always going to be true no matter who you are. Whether you believe it or not. And this is something like karma. And when you start understanding truly what karma means, um, maybe even look up what is the Sanskrit word that talks about karma and dharma. Then you'll start understanding a little bit more on you are not born into sin, okay? Like that is more religious. And I kind of feel like I'm going on a tangent here, but I'm going to leave you at this too. Build up your solar plexus because that is your willpower that feeds more passion, that gives you more purpose, and that makes you feel worthy of being here and worthy of connecting with other people that do believe the same things you believe and rock with and resonate with the same things. There are people out there, and it doesn't have to be such a big group. You're very blessed when you can have at least one person in your life that gets you and understands you and not feel so attached to someone that feels like love because you know your own self-love first and foremost, okay? That's what I wanted to bring home for you, pile 3, okay? That's the beauty of self-love because we're not attaching to other people, places, or things that bring addictive behaviors. We are accepting and embracing the love within ourselves, the love within our spirit team that we all have, right? And the love of finding what we have purposeful to do here on this earth and to radiate love within that giving and receiving. Okay? So that's what I got for you, pile 3. I'd love to invite you to a space to witness the birth of my soul journey project. I created a space where there's a lot of behind the scenes images and talking about topics like this. And just a lot of creativity, and really actually helping you see how to utilize different types of cards for your healing. It's something tangible, and it's a tool that can help you in your healing journey. And if you're just an art lover or a lover of cards, I definitely would love for you to come through. I'd love for you to support me in this project. And I love for you to check out, because like my services and stuff like that. Being a part of this soul project journey actually gives you discounts and just exclusive services for those that are in the sacred space. Okay. Um, if that's not your thing, you can also check out my services below. Um, and there's something else that I'm forgetting. Oh, other ways to support me is by liking that button, okay, and commenting below. If you don't know what to say, just say hello. But if you like this channel, and if you're feeling the vibe, definitely subscribe. If you like this video, you're infusing your energy. And these card readings, right? The things, the products and videos that I put out are definitely going to be radiating towards your energy as well, because I do believe in this energy, okay? The infinity symbol. So if you're feeling the vibe, definitely subscribe, say hello. That's the best way that you can support me. By doing that, it heightens the channel and reaches more people that need this type of love, okay? I have a lot of love, and there's plenty more where that came from. So check me out. Check out my Soul Journey project. And if you're feeling the vibe, definitely subscribe. Links are all below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.